Okay, good morning class. Welcome back to Math 11. Math 11, Finance and Work. Today we're just going to review a couple of problems that we've been working with in trigonometry, and you're going to be completing a short trig quiz. This will be the last assignment we do in this section on math with trigonometry, although it's not the last time you're going to use it because geometry and trigonometry, it goes right across all math subjects. Next week I hope to get into a new unit with working with banking and finance. So let's look at a couple of these problems. A word problem where we have to develop a scenario. We have to establish what type of trig ratio we need to use. So here we have Shelby, part of a group of volunteers who is helping with the force inventory. They're trying to determine the height of trees. Like I said yesterday, this is quite familiar. We have a tree, and the person has to determine whether it is too short or too tall. So he needs to find out what the height of the tree is. They know that the angle that the tree makes with the ground, it's like, say the sun was here and it's shining. You're going to have a shadow because the sunshine hits the top of the tree. It's going to make a shadow on the ground. So this is your ground here. And it makes an angle of, say, 65 degrees. The person stands 25 meters from the base of the tree. If this is the tree, this is the top, the base is the bottom. So Shelby stands 25 meters away from it. So this distance here is 25 meters. They want to know how tall is that tree to the nearest meter. So we have two things to establish here. The height, and then round it off to the nearest meter. Once we develop a scenario, draw a right angle triangle. There is our right angle, our 90 degrees. We have to label it with reference to that angle that's given. So, looking at this angle, the opposite side is over here. The side that's opposite the right angle, the 90-degree angle, is the hypotenuse. Always is. And the only side we have left is the one that's next to it. Adjacent means next to it, is right here. So now, what do we know and what do we need to find? Well, we know the angle. We know the adjacent side. What do we have to find? We have to find the opposite. So, I look at my trig ratio. So, ka, toa. Now, if you do not do that and you're guessing, you're going to have a chance, 1 in 3, that you're going to get it right. Because if you were to choose sine to figure this out, you get it wrong. If you choose cosine, you're going to get it wrong. You have to look at what is given here. We're given the adjacent side. We have to find the opposite side. So the only one that can do that is TOA, tan. So we have to use tan. That's how you establish which trig ratio to use. So once you do that, tan of 65 degrees, opposite over adjacent. The opposite side, we don't know. The adjacent side is given as 25 meters. So this was step 1. We established what our scenario is. 2, we set up our equation. Tan equals opposite over adjacent. Now we have to solve it. In order to solve it, we have to cross multiply. I'm trying to find out that value of x. I only have one x. And it's equal to the other side, the cross multiplying. Tan 65 times 25. And then we just throw that into our calculator. So we have 65 degrees. Tan gives us a decimal ratio, 2.14 for tan of 65 times 25, and we get a value of 53.61. I'm just going to write the first two digits. And it asked me to round to the nearest meter. Oops, nearest meter. So I round that off. Since this is a 6, that means I have to round this up. 54 meters. And again, because it's a word problem, we answer in a sentence the height or the top of the tree to get full value. All right? So why do I show you these steps? It's not only to show you the solution, but to demonstrate that in order to get full value for any problem, you need to show the work. Okay? And the last one, or second one, is if we have to find out what is going to be the length, or sorry, the angle of a ramp. They tell us the length of a ramp is 450. Remember when you're, if you look at a highway, often if you'll see that if there's a big road going this way, some roads will go right underneath it, you know, underneath the highway, keep on going this way. But to get onto this one, you have to take a ramp off of it. If you're coming along and say you want to go down the street here, you're going this direction, you have to take a left off the ramp and to get onto that other road, right? So they're asking us this time, the length of the ramp is 450 meters. So here's my 450 meters. That's my ramp. And it joins the highway 300 meters from the trail. So there was my trail going this way, the main highway, going this way. And this ramp joined this at a distance of 300 meters. So this part here is 300 meters. What is the angle? So they're asking us this angle. What angle does the ramp make with the highway? There's our highway, there's our ramp. So what is this angle? That's our question mark. So I'm just going to redraw that. So there's our ramp, 450 meters. Distance here was 300 meters. Our right angle is right there. Here, they want to know what is that angle. So now we have to label it. Find out which trig ratio we use. There's the reference angle. This is the opposite side. Opposite the angle. This is the right angle, so this has got to be the hypotenuse. Opposite hypotenuse, OH. Those are the two given numbers. The only trig ratio that has OH in it is sine. So we go sine of the angle equals opposite side over hypotenuse. In order to find that angle, we have to use the second function of this fraction. And our calculator does it for us automatically. The only thing we have to remember is that we're using the second function. So I'm going to clear this. Now, I have 300 divided by 450. There's my ratio. I need to find the second function of it. Right there. And I'm using sine. It comes up with 41.8. So I'm going to round that to the nearest degree, which is going to be, if it's 41.8, it goes up to 42 degrees. So the angle is 42 degrees. Easy peasy. So that's it for examples. I'm going to hand out this quiz. I put the Pythagoras theory formula in there because if you have three sides, if you have two here, I can figure out the third one using Pythagoras. That's the first thing we reviewed this year. That's grade 8 stuff, grade 9. And then I have the formulas here for trig. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tan is opposite over adjacent. So your formulas are here for your quiz. And you have just a few questions here. There's one page here with A, B. And then you have these questions over here. What I'm putting here is this theta. What I'm looking for here is the angle. What is this angle? So you put your answer there. What is this side? You put your answer here, and so forth. Okay? Very short quiz, just to review. Any questions?